So we are going to, for our Eco Athletes Community Chat holiday session, we are going to introduce ourselves and say what our favorite holiday tradition is. Patches, you're up.
Okay. Um, Hi, I'm Patches. I'm Eco Athlete Strategic Advisor. This is Misha. He's my Siberian and he actually celebrates Hanukkah. But my favorite holiday tradition is really just that our my house is made for Christmas, and from the outside to this giant tree that my husband is very committed to putting up every year. It's really the decorations for me. We have like sort of a ski aesthetic, even though I don't live in that kind of a place. Big wooden beams and huge fireplace, and this is like the time of year that it's made for. So that's my
That
favorite.
sounds that sounds
Yeah,
so
so the visual is that cat climbing to like this top crazy high ladder that my husband, there's always a top step that says you're not supposed to step on it, that my husband steps on, who's already like 2 meters tall. He steps on that, and then he's got like a foot on a windowsill way up above, and like the longest barbecue tongs you've ever seen to try to like decorate the top of this tree. And that's the best part.
that is pretty awesome. I'm gonna go next.
Go next.
So I'm Luke Blaustein. You all know me. Um, so I'm gonna say, and this is a real tough one. Um, this is a tradition that unfortunately is no longer active, but my cousin Phyllis she's 77 or so. She was a banker as her job, but she's this like bluegrass American old-timey music musician and singer. And she would first in her Upper West Side apartment and then in an apartment in Soho. It's like a movie. She would have this Christmas Eve, Christmas Carol sing along. This went on for 25 years. You have to understand that she and I were Jewish. So we go over and it's basically Jews and Christians who have nowhere to go or just like to go to Phyllis's party and sing. And they would have all of the classic Christmas, whoops, all the classic Christmas carols. She would have the lyrics. She had a piano player. I think we have some background noise.
I think Ridian, you're there. We
Rivian,
go.
there we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No
It's all right.
worries.
It's all right. And so there'd be like 35 people, and we're all singing, and she would try and get us in like three-part harmony and rounds. It was incredible. But after a while, she got tired. Eventually, it kind of ended, but it was truly just a remarkable thing. So now I'm going to ask Belle Palecchia.
Hey guys, I'm Belle Pluckey. I played basketball at New York University. I'm in my senior year, and I've also been helping out Lou and Patches and Eco Athletes with some intern stuff starting in June up until now, which has been great. My favorite holiday tradition is similar to Lou, kind of we sing the 12 Days of Christmas song. It started with my grandma sort of started it, and now we do it every year. Unfortunately, she's passed, but we sort of do it because of her. And everyone gets like their like day or whatever. And I'm normally 5 golden rings. So
Of
there
course
you
you
go.
are.
5 championship rings. Sorry. Um, awesome. All right. Next, we are going to go to Gianna.
Hello, I'm Gianna. I go to school at Brown. I'm a senior and I'm on the basketball team here. And a holiday tradition, I don't know, because the past few years, I'm at school until around December 21st, and then I go back, and then I go home and then back to school around like December 26th. So I just been those few days are always action filled with seeing every single family member that I haven't seen like the whole fall. Um Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. And go Bruins. All right, now we are going to go to Riley. Great to see you, Riley.
Hi, nice to see you, Lou. Hi, I'm Riley Barr. I'm currently located in Orlando, Florida. Previous or alumni now of Florida State University. I ran cross country and track. Yes, go Knowles. And now now I am working for Blue Strike Environmental, so I'm doing sustainability consulting. And my favorite holiday tradition is that me and my sisters, we all get matching pajamas on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
fun.
yeah, even at this age. So we've carried it all these years. Yeah.
That's and I want to add one thing to Riley's introduction of herself. Blue Strike Environmental is sustainability consulting in the sports world. So Riley is getting it done. All right, Kess, we see you now, and I just found out yesterday that Kess, who I thought was in the UK or France, is now no, she's like right over there. Like,
I know.
Belle, can you see her?
yeah. OMG, Kess.
It's a little dark. I'm sorry. I'm in my room. I don't know if you can see me. Hello. My name's Cass. I play soccer, or as I would call it, football. I'm from England initially, but I went to college in the US. I went to UConn and then I went to Oregon. And I'm currently, like Lou said, playing in Brooklyn for the new league. It's the USL League, Super League. Brooklyn FC is the team that I'm on. So
Brooklyn.
back on the East Coast, which is nice. Was in France last year. So yeah.
Well, welcome. First of all, welcome. I'm so glad you decided to that I found you again and that you decided to join us. So, what's your holiday tradition?
Oh, sorry, forgot the main question. Tradition. Well, like Gianna said, like mainly seeing everyone because I'm away from them all year round. But also, I guess like in terms of traditions, I would say the games, like the Christmas games that come out. It's like I guess the competitiveness in me um is
What are the
probably.
games? I need to be playing these games with my family.
Well, my favorite new game, I don't know if you've seen, is like the big antlers with the rings.
Yes, we have that.
Yeah, that's been the newest like favorite, but I mean, all games like Scrabble's a tradition, just whatever.
Oh, Scrabble is a killer tradition. Uh, now, Ridian went away, but maybe
Yeah,
he.
my camera is not being my friend today.
All right. Well, Ridian, we'll go with your audio from down under, and great to hear you and see you when we can. Uh, Ridian, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ridian. I do athletics or track and field for you Americans. I'm from Australia. My event specifically is the walks, so I've been to 3 Olympic Games. In terms of holiday traditions, I guess we don't. My family is not really that big on family traditions, but I do remember growing up because my dad's mum was German. We'd always have like a German Christmas cake called a Stollen every year. And so when I go past an Aldi and see a Stollen available, it kind of reminds me of that.
That's
Christmas stolen.
Christmas stuff. That is interesting. I've not heard of that one. Cool. Well, welcome, Ridian. Now we're going to welcome in Deja Davis, who I believe are you in North Carolina?
Yes, I am. Hi everyone, I'm Deja. I played softball at Duke, and I'm still in Durham. I now work for the Environmental Protection Agency. Um, and my favorite holiday tradition, my grandma makes all kinds of food, so it's definitely food related, but we make these meat pies, and so we'll spend a night rolling out the dough on the counter and like filling them and freezing them to fry the next day or in a few days. So that's always a good time.
Yum, yum. And now from the future, as Ridian is, Eliza is in Tomorrowland, New Zealand. So good to see you, Eliza. You're up.
Kia ora, I'm Eliza McCartney. I'm a pole vaulter, so also in track and field, like Grydian. who is also in the future, I guess.
Right.
Although I'm further in the future than Meridian.
Is it
Um,
12:44 in the afternoon your time?
no, it's
No, that's that's
2:44.
that's my time.
Uh, what time is it your time?
It's 2:45 in the
Oh my
afternoon.
God, it's almost nighttime.
Well, no, I mean, as you can see, well, as you might know, it's summer, obviously, this side of the world. So in saying that, my favorite thing about Christmas time is having pavlovas, which I don't know if Meridian's going to fight me on this, but I think is a New Zealand dessert. But there is some question as to whether it's Australian or New Zealand. But I,
Australians like to claim it.
yeah.
That
But
means it
pavlova,
must be really good if they're fighting over who gets to claim it. So
it's
No, I think
fantastic.
Australia just claims anything that New Zealand does that's good.
Wait, what is it called though?
It's called a
pavlova,
pavlova. It's
Pedlova?
actually named
pavlova, like the
after,
ballerina,
Oh,
pavlova.
yeah, it's named after
pavlova.
a Russian,
Pavlova.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So
meringue and fruit and stuff. It's really nice.
and it's a New Zealand thing.
Well, yeah, I'll claim it here, shall I? You've heard it here. It's a New Zealand thing, but no, I absolutely love pavlova and just the whole. It's a very summery dessert, so it just fits really nicely. And every year get so excited to make and eat pavlovas. So that's probably it for me.
Awesome. And now we have just coming in from class or practice, I can't remember which, is Chloe. Chloe, what we're doing kind of in a holiday vibe is to introduce ourselves. That's not holiday, but and then share what our favorite holiday tradition is.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I am coming from class. I had accounting. Um, I'm a junior on the lacrosse team here at Cal. I have an organization called SAFE, which is Student Athletes for the Environment, trying to get Cal athletics more sustainable. And I would say my favorite holiday tradition is that we make, I'm from Maryland, so we do cream of crab soup
Ah,
um, every Christmas Eve in like a bread bowl. And that's one of my favorites.
Mm.
for those of you who don't know that Maryland is known for its crabs and crab cakes, correct?
Yes, best crabs. Probably not in December, but we still do it anyway.
And I'm gonna, as a point of personal privilege, add a second favorite tradition, which generationally y'all might not know about it. Patches does, plus I've told her about this, but how many of you are aware of the holiday of Festivus? See, no one knows. This is generationally true. You know what? It's from Seinfeld. It's the day before Christmas. It's it's a thing. It's a thing. Ha Check it out. Festivus.
What is
Festivus.
it? The something for the rest of us?
A Festivus for the rest of us. And it's George Costanza's father did not like the commercialization of Christmas, and he found that tinsel was too distracting, so he created his own holiday, Festivus, where the main points of it are you have the airing of grievances, and then you have the feats of strength. But me telling you this is not going to land as well as you watching it. So, but I'll stick with my first tradition, which was Phyllis's carol sing along. Anyway, thank you all for sharing such awesome traditions, and I'm glad to hear about the debate between whether New Zealand or Australia owns the pavlova. Um, so, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a recap of Eco Athletes 2024, and then we're going to look ahead to 2025, and included in that look is to see how we can move forward on the brainstorm that we had at our last community chat a couple months ago, where we brainstormed ideas as to how to push the IOC and LA 28 to go faster, higher, stronger on climate. So, I think Ridian is coming in again. Anyway, So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully this works. Let's see. Just give me a second. Can you guys see that? Yes?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So it has been one hell of a year, and thank you to the champions. You all have made it so. And so there are a lot of highlights to run through, and so I'm going to go, at a good pace. If you want, feel free to ask a question or jump in. If you have a question or want to discuss something, no problem. So now we are up to 182 Eco Athletes champions as of today, as we just added one a few hours ago. We just added a champion, and actually we added another one a day or so before, thanks to Deja. Actually, no, Deja was today. Uh, uh, that's right. Deja's recommendation, Jaden Hill, softball player at UC San Diego, just joined us. So now we have 182 champions, and combined, you guys have 2.5 million social followers, and all of these are big increases versus a year ago. Earlier this year, we had our second annual Collegiate Cup. This is in the United States. We'll talk about how we're going to encourage everybody, no matter where you are on the planet, to take part in the Collegiate Cup in 2025. In 2024, our second year, we quadrupled participation in it. It's basically a challenge where any campus in the United States where we have at least one champion can compete in the Collegiate Cup. It's where you encourage your teammates, your friends, your family, anybody you can to sign up for the Cal Berkeley team or the Brown team or the Rutgers team, and then your exercise is converted into an environmental currency that buys top grade offsets. The idea is the more people exercise, the less carbon gets emitted into the atmosphere. And because these athletes, you guys are competitive, they these athletes, the student athletes want to win the Collegiate Cup. So in 2024, Clemson and San Jose State battled down to the final day. And it was basically led by a rower, Anna Klenke at Clemson, who led Clemson to the win in 2023. She again was corralling everybody she knew to sign up for the Collegiate Cup and to exercise. And out on the West Coast at San Jose State, Ivana Anderson Valello, water polo player, did the same. And the last day, the lead changed 4 times, with Clemson finally winning it to go back to back. So congrats to both Anna and to Ivana. But there's more. In June, we had you guys are aware of the Clothes for Good video series. In June, our video garnered over 105,000 views. And for, typically a video for us in the Clothes for Good series, we get 5,000 views, 15,000 views, 20,000 views. 105,000 was absolutely incredible. And then champions won a ton of awards. Elena Olsen from the USA Rugby Sevens won. There's Elena won the Green Sports Alliance Young Leadership Award. Elena Burns and Brandon Hirsch of Duke, Elena Field Hockey, Duke American Football, won Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Awards for creating a green a green athletes group down at Duke, and for having green games. They had a green field hockey game and a green football game, and the football game got quite a bit of media coverage because it was aired nationally. And so they won awards. And Elena now she transferred to do a grad year at Stanford. And Ridian, You won the BBC Green Sport Award World Athlete of the Year. So let's give it up. Rydian, any words?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that sort of award wouldn't have been possible without the support of everyone at Eco Athletes. So, thanks for your part in it.
Oh,
So thrilled for you, Rydian. Well deserved.
Rydian has, and Rydian, I checked, you were the 7th Eco Athletes champion to sign up out of now 182. So you really have been with us since basically the beginning and have been
Top
a
8,
sport
yes.
champion. Pardon?
Top 8, yes.
Yes. Pretty darn good. And then Karishma Ali, a soccer player, a pro soccer player from Pakistan, won the Next Generation Trailblazer award at the Sport Positive Summit in London. And Karishma's story is just beyond inspirational. She is from the remote northern region of Chitral in Pakistan, which is very repressive and conservative, and they don't allow girls to get educated past the 5th grade and to play sports at all. Well, she was able to get educated because her parents sent her to the city. And then when she became a pro soccer player, she created this foundation, the Karishma Ali Foundation, that provides access to soccer to girls. And she's faced death threats. She's faced tremendous obstacles and is overcoming it. Truly amazing. So, and I may have even missed some of there may be champions who won awards and I'm not aware of it, but these are the ones, you guys are the ones these are the ones I know. And again, congrats, Rydian. But wait, there's still more. That's right. Paris 2024. Da, 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 da. And Rydian was there. Eliza was there. Not only were they were in it. They were 2 of our 17 champions who competed at Paris 24, and 6 won medals, including Rydian, who won bronze in the first ever, if I have it right, mixed team walk relay. Did I say it right?
Yeah. I mean, we had a Australian comedian who was basically explaining all the events in like this video, and he called it the couples salsa walk. So if you want to abbreviate it to that, that's also fine.
That's hilarious. Well, oops, no, I won't. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show a video, a compilation of our champions who were in Paris. Hold on. I don't know if you're seeing me futz around with my computer to find the video. Here it is. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Am I making this look stupid? How do I? Hold on. It's not letting me. Hold on a second. I know how to do it. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me a sec. Just bear with. I want to. Okay, here it is. Thank you for your patience. I don't know can you guys see that? Yes? Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
So congratulations to Ridian came. Ridian is back. Hold on. I'm gonna get back to the. All right. We had a lot of medalists. I mean, we had a lot of Olympians. And congrats again to Ridian and to Eliza for your accomplishments there. Okay, and we got a lot of coverage. BBC covered you guys, CBC, Canada, NBC, lots of broadcast networks that end in BC covered the champions. And when we count uh, people, the viewership, the impressions numbers, we only count the numbers, the media hits where you guys, the champions, talk about environment or climate. And in total, 40 million media impressions from our Olympians before, during, and after the games, um, which is just incredible. Um, but there's more. We and some of you who will remember that we were involved in signing, having champions who are Olympians, and one letter was open to all champions, whether an Olympian or not, um, to push the IOC and sponsors like Coca-Cola, Toyota, and Lululemon to go faster, higher, stronger, which is the Olympic motto, on their greening efforts and to limit the greenwashing. And on Lululemon, whoops, what happened there? Yes. Champion Margot Maloney, pictured here, she was a beach volleyballer at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. She's from Canada. She wrote an op-ed in the National Observer of Canada, which is like the USA Today of our neighbor to the north, in which she thanked Lululemon for the efforts that they have done sustainability-wise. Lululemon is the official outfitter of the Canadian Olympic team. They are a Canadian company from Vancouver. And she also, though, took them to task and said they need to do better because they have this very kind of yoga-y, very green image, but their they talk the talk on green, but their walking the walk is not keeping up. And so she wrote this letter, it got published, and that op-ed plus the letter that was signed by several of our champions got to the attention of the CEO of Lululemon. And the CEO responded, and now members of the C-suite at Lululemon are in talks with the campaigning organization called Action Speaks Louder. They're the ones who said to us, hey, would you present this letter, this open letter to your Olympians for potential signature? Several of our champions signed it, and that got this response. And Ruth McGlip, who is the campaigner, the lead on the Lululemon campaign for Action Speaks Louder, told me that there is no way, none, that they would have gotten any love from the CEO or be able to get these meetings, except for the fact that the athletes put the pressure on. And so that is just that's amazing. And that's actually what spurred me to think, hey, we can do a lot more towards LA 28 with time. If Lululemon responded the way they did, if we put a concerted strategic effort, if we put that forth, we can get potentially the IOC and LA 28 to move. So that's what really inspired me to go down this road. And yet there's more. Vote Climate kicked off in the USA in September. It was a nonpartisan effort by US citizen champions to get their followers to register to vote, check their status, meaning do, where is my polling place? How can when can I vote early, etc., and vote like their climate depends on it. Um, Even though we're non-partisan, it's obvious who the pro-climate candidate was, and that didn't go so well in the end. But we did generate over 105,000 views, and our advisory committee member, Elisa Hammond, played a very big role in this. Um, and so I want to just acknowledge her. And then after the Vote Climate, we kept on keeping on. Prajna Mohan, a triathlete from India, who's amazing. She spoke on an athletes panel just 10 days ago at the COP29 Global Climate Conference in Azerbaijan. And then now I am going to embarrass Belle to say that this year, Belle, as she mentioned, became our social media intern manager, and she helps us in ways beyond social media. And she helped NYU to the Division III Natty, which is short for National Championship. So thank you very much, Belle. You've made this year the success. You played a big role in the success we've had this year. But can you believe it? There's more. So I just checked today, and so total media impressions in 2024 to date is 156 million. Last year, we were about 116 million. And we still have a month-ish to go. So we are building on awareness on all different fronts. We had interviews. We've gotten hits with campus media, Stanford and UConn. And we've had hits in media, Spanish language media, India, Australia. Ridian has done amazing work on a number of fronts in Australia. And yet, the climate scoreboard is still against us. And, despite all of this incredible work and success from the champions this year, we can't ignore the reality. And the results of the US election make our work and the climate comeback much more challenging. But that's why our work in 2025 is even more important. And, athletes know this better than regular folk. When you have a challenge, it's work harder, smarter. And so we are going to work with you to do just that in 2025. We cannot let the challenge overwhelm us, and we won't. So a couple of news items. One, the 2025 Collegiate Cup, which will run from March 10th to April 22nd, Earth Day, 6 weeks-ish, will, for the first time, have a sponsor, and it will be a title sponsor. We can't say who it is just yet, but that will be coming soon. Not sure exactly soon, but hopefully very soon. But we're very excited about that. That means that the Collegiate Cup will have more impact, more environmental and climate benefit, but also should be able to get more people, many more people involved. And speaking of that, for our champions like Eliza and Ridian, who are not in the US, and did not get into this crazy thing that we have here called college sports, we are going to invite all of our champions, no matter where they are in the world, to play in the Collegiate Cup, and also to invite your friends and followers to join one of the schools in the Collegiate Cup. And you might say, um, well, how do I pick a school? You may know someone who went to uh, NYU or to UConn, as Cass did, or Cal Berkeley. It could also be that the champions at our schools can try to recruit you guys. Um, and if all else fails, you can always choose Patches or
You.
Rutgers. In fact, that should be the default choice for everybody. But in any case, we will be in touch with you guys uh, with the details on all of this. But we are super excited. And I see a very open competition this year. And talking to some of the champions at different schools other than Clemson, they are ready to take the title. Now it's time to talk Olympics, LA 28, and the IOC. Uh, we started in September at our last community chat at the Brainstorm, where we asked folks to come up with ideas as to how we can push the IOC and LA 28 to move faster, higher, stronger. And so 18 ideas were brainstormed in total over the two sessions, and half of them, 9, generated significant support, 20% or more. Thank you all, by the way, for those of you who filled out the survey. We sent out the 18 ideas and asked you to list the 3 that you liked the most. And so the results were as follows. No fossil fuel sponsorship or advertising was the number one answer that appeared on most ballots, so to say. I love this one. Require all Olympic broadcasters at LA 28 to air climate-themed public service announcements on every broadcast. And oops, that was a typo. A climate themed Olympics special before the opening ceremonies. That also got almost the same. Hold on. Why is that doing that? There we go. Install kinetic tiles. This was very cool. That generate electricity when your foot hits the tile in high traffic areas, and have a portion of the torch relay take place on those tiles. That was third. Require sponsors to fund climate justice initiatives in Los Angeles, in the LA area, and around the world, and we would come up with a significant dollar figure for that. The next 3 came in at dead heat. Kit donation stations. With Clothes for Good, we've talked a lot about all the kit and swag that athletes get. And this could be something that would be donated to LA area citizens and could be used in clothing swaps. This is one that I was surprised got such strong support at first, but then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what, this makes sense. Push the IOC and LA 28 to become B Corps, and which means that they are at the highest of the high end in terms of environmental and social sustainability. Create a green sponsorship subcategory, meaning smaller companies, think Patagonia or think an EV charging station. They don't have the budgets or near the zeros to be an Olympic or an LA 28 sponsor. But if we could convince them to create a sponsorship tier that is a lower out of pocket with reduced benefits, this gets green brands a high profile. Require all Olympic kits to be made from biodegradable and or reusable fabric, and then conduct a contest for fans at LA28 and viewers and fans around the world to take a green action or green actions, and then the sponsors would fund the carbon reductions based on the fan actions. So those are the ideas that got the most widespread support, and we would. I'm happy to to put this in a manifesto where we would, we'll write it for you. We, the athletes of the world, the eco athletes, champions, et cetera, uh, ask or demand that the IOC and LA28, and these are the steps that we expect you guys to take. I'm going to stop for a second, the share, and stop talking for a second. And I want to open it up to you guys to just, what did you think of the ideas that kind of bubbled up to the top, and how do you feel about bringing these ideas to the IOC and to LA28? Anyone like to? Oh, and Gary Gilliam. Wait a minute. Gary Gilliam joined us. Before we get Gary, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
All right. Quick introduction, Gary. Just tell everybody who you are and where you are.
Yeah, sure.
And what sport you play.
I don't know if you guys can see me. There we go. Yeah, my name is Gary Gilliam, former NFL player. I am in Seattle, Washington. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah. And we'll be back to you if we have time at the end. But I want to get everybody's, or the folks who want to speak, about the ideas that made the cut, and pushing them out to the IOC and to LA28. Any comments or thoughts?
I
No,
have a
not at the
comment.
moment.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Riley, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say I have a thought. I think the sub tier of sustainability sponsors is a really good idea. And to add another idea, because I don't think I was there during the list creation, but Blue Strike is actually potentially going to work with the catering for LA28. So doing like a food charter for sourcing only like local food, which is going to have to change, what menus are just the menus and meals offered so that it can be sourced locally in California.
So cool.
So that's something we're hoping to push.
Yes, and if there's
So
any, and we can talk about that separately. If you guys have any other ideas, feel free to broach them now, or you can even send us an email later. Any other comments, or we can move on? All right, I'm going to go back to the presentation.
I was just going to say, Lou, that first one, in my opinion, is a big one, and it could have some of the most significant impact by stopping the greenwashing that is going on with fossil fuel companies. I think that's a really, really big one. So I love that came first, because I think that would be amazing to like focus attention on. And it kind of almost goes hand in hand with number 2, right?
Yes.
Also, not number 2, number 3. No, it wasn't number 3. Whatever one it was.
Here, I'm going to put it back up so we can actually look at it.
I guess that's why they got so many votes, right?
Right. Number 3 is the kinetic tiles. I just think that's so bold. Like, people will automatically be helping generate energy by just walking.
Yeah, I think some of those, like, I think you get a lot of bang for your buck. Someone's like the kit donation stuff, or not so much kit donation, but the requiring kits to be biodegradable. I mean, that would be amazing, but you'd have to get all of the member federations doing that, and that's a massive challenge to get kind of agreement across all of the countries. Whereas something like that, the IOC can really focus on like sponsorship, who's sponsoring them, I think is a massive win if you can have influence there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think though, like with the kit stuff, maybe it's not possible to get every single federation to do it, but it'd be good at least if some federations could do it as like at least a pilot.
Yeah. And I could see that being something that, uh, I mean, if I was like, I'm making it up, Andorra or a small country where I could easily, maybe it's easier for a small country to do something like that. Um, Although then again, maybe for the bigger countries that have bigger buying power, maybe they could do it
Well, the
more.
IOC could definitely do it with like the refugee Olympic team at least, because that's something that they control.
That would be so cool. So cool. All right. Well, so this is where we were, and thanks for the idea going even beyond where we were. Um, but now where do we go? So we're the next step for us, we're going to write a manifesto. So to just say this is who we are, this is what we are looking for, this is why we're doing this, and then include the ideas um, that we just went through, and then share that with you guys in the next month or so, and then iron out any kinks. Um, and before we take it to the IOC and LA 28, because we do have contacts at both, they don't know that we're doing this, but so we want to plan this strategically. Um, Before, a key question is, do we want to expand the signing of the manifesto to other green athlete groups? There is
Yes.
Players for the Planet, uh, Champions for Earth, uh, what's the one? Front Runners in Australia, etc. And we're not going to limit it to Olympians or athletes who are in Olympic sports even. All athletes in our group, eco athletes, can sign it. And Peridian, I agree with him. I think we should invite other athlete groups to join in. Any other thoughts on that, though?
Yeah, the
So
more the merrier, I'd say.
Ridian, you were a pretty quick yes, and I believe that you are a member of some other groups as well, right?
Yeah, so I
So it
I
might
guess
be
finger in every pie type person.
yeah. No, and I think it might be interesting to consider maybe athletes who are involved with multiple organizations to be involved with the outreach,
Yeah.
which would make sense.
Yeah, I reckon that's a great idea.
And for example, I mentioned Front Runners. That's an Australian group. Are New Zealand athletes in that as well? Um, but my knowledge of it is that it's a lot of them. A lot of the athletes are Aussie rules football. That's not an Olympic sport. However, I think they should be able to have a voice in this as well. And one thing that we will do, though, is that we will be the shepherd of this. Eco athletes will, and so it'll be um, the way we're looking at it is, as Ridian says, the more the merrier. We will get to the other athlete groups, and if you guys have contacts with the other green athlete groups, we will ask you if you do, and if you do, please step forward, and we can figure out a way to get this to them. And then once we collate all of that, then we will show this to the powers that be. Um, like I said before, want to do this in a strategic, measured approach. Um, and so, and as I wrote here, schedule the meetings with IOC and LA 28 February, March. If it's later than that, that's okay. We what we want to do is have all of our ducks in a row, have the manifesto uh, just the way we want it, have the ask, the ideas just the way we want it, and also the way we want to present it the way we want it. And so we were thinking we should have some of our champions in the meetings that we get with the IOC and LA28 execs. Um, any thoughts on that? Thumbs up. There it is. There it is. And then we also thought about how about having the champions who might not be in the meetings create a 30-second video that as to why this is important to them and why that to personalize it and to show that that this is meaningful. This is something that you are willing to step out and take a leadership role in. I see thumbs up for, oh, Ridian even loves that idea, and more thumbs up. So this is what we're thinking. And then another idea, Eco Athletes House at LA28. For those who aren't in the Olympic movement, not that I'm in it, but I know about it, but who are not as Olympified as some of us are. Ridian and Eliza can certainly vouch for this. From what I heard in Paris, there was Australia House, USA House, Canada House, UK House, and they would have events that would feature their Olympic heritage and their, feature their Olympians, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we want to have Eco Athletes House in Los Angeles at the Olympics. Any thumbs up or? Oh yeah. All right. And so what that would look like, or kind of first outline of what it could look like. We're envisioning having a different climate or environmental topic of the day for each Olympiad, right? So one day will be extreme heat. One day will be public health. One day will be is keeping sport. Can we have what will the Olympics look like 50 years from now, et cetera, et cetera. Champion LA28 Olympians who are Eco Athletes champions or in other groups, if obviously they're there to do their sport and that's what their focus is, but if after their event is done and they're still in LA or well before, please stop by. We will also bring champions from past games who are no longer active athletes, active Olympians, to help co-host and moderate. We'll have panels. There'll be plant-based food options, and other green vendors will be a part of the Eco Athletes House and help sponsor it. We would also ask the IOC and LA28 to help us out. And just we're not holding you to this, but just a first pass, maybe kind of sort of, would you like to be involved in the planning and the discussions, etc.? Well, some. Anyway, that's going to be a thing. And I think that's it. Wait, or is there one more slide? I guess that's it. All right. Well, thank you for listening and your comments. I hope this was interesting and thought-provoking. One more thing, and this is uh, it's the end of year, um, and you probably got, at least in the US, you may have gotten a lot Giving Tuesday emails asking for donations, and we have never at Eco Athletes asked our champions in a formal way to support us financially. We don't charge for to be an Eco Athletes champion. We just wanted to let you know that we can use the support if you're making an end of year donation, and if you have if you feel like you would like to make Eco Athletes part of that donation roster, we would be happy for that. The reason we're asking is that we have, as you saw, um, a lot going on, and we have a big agenda in 2025. And like I said, the climate scoreboard is against us. The government in the United States and governments elsewhere are not going to be with us, at least it doesn't appear so. So our work is more important than it ever has been. It's harder. However, we are so committed to helping you maximize that impact. And we, you know, we don't want things to fall through the cracks. We are so tightly um, staffed. It's basically me and Patches and Belle when she can, when she's not, trying to win a back-to-back national championship. Um, and so we can use the help because there are a lot of things we want to do, including, more comprehensive con champions relations, more video and better video content, uh, to also get even more media coverage and to do more events like the Collegiate Cup that actually result in uh, emissions offsetting, and maybe we can come up with ways to do emissions reductions. So, and if you can't, if you cannot afford a donation, that's totally fine. If it's $5 or that's fine, whatever. But I just wanted to invite you to, if you feel like we are worthy of your support, to support us. There'll be something up on our website next week about the year-end donations in the US.
Meeting's just about finished, so I'll be a couple minutes.
I was going to say, otherwise I'm going to walk down to the shops and
Anyway.
get back.
Yeah, a couple minutes. All I'd add to that, Lou, is like also asking friends and family if they can contribute or want to
Yes.
contribute.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
maybe instead of a gift to you for Christmas, if you don't want anything.
Yes, and thank you, Ridian, for jumping in on that, because I that was on my notes. And please ask your friends and family and followers if you, again, if you feel like if it's worthy. In the US, we are tax deductible. Um, I don't know what the rules are in terms of Australia and New Zealand and other countries in terms of donating to a US nonprofit, but that is, I guess, each country's thing. So that's pretty much it. We are done except for one thing. Gary, back to you. Um, when we got on at the beginning, we asked everybody kind of as a holiday icebreaker to share their favorite holiday tradition. So, Gary, what do you got for us?
Favorite holiday tradition. Well, I didn't do it growing up, but now being a dad, I get to do it with my kids. So Elf on the Shelf is kind of cool, right? Another layer of magic, and whether you got 5 minutes to put toward it or you want to put some real time toward the little scenes, I think anything that brings a little joy and magic to kids is pretty cool. So I enjoy that now as a dad. Elf on the Shelf is fun.
And speaking of dad, Gary just became a dad for a second time. Uh, this maybe a couple months ago. And wait, let me pronounce it right. See if I can. Nevea?
Nevaeh. Yeah, you got it.
Mazel tov. And well, anyway, I want to thank you guys for everything, for being so inspirational. Um, it's you guys are amazing, and I'm so glad you're a part of what we're doing. Anybody have any other words? Patches, anything else to add?
No, I just think, in the time that I've been with Eco Athletes, every single year there's just more and better, and the stories that we have among all of our champions, they're just so inspiring. I would just encourage each of you to look to each other to see, what's going on. We have the WhatsApp group, and people will sometimes drop some things in there like there's a SUP athlete that we have in Germany who won an outrageous 30-hour competition recently.
Nonstop
Yeah.
stand-up paddle.
Yeah. So people like Karishma who are doing so much good in the world, and people who are accomplishing things in their sport. I really just hope that all of you are getting some inspiration from each other. You have this in common, and I think it could be a lot of fuel for you to keep going when the climate comeback seems daunting.
Some cleanly generated fuel, I might add.
Yes. Renewable.
Yes.